Hey everybody, it's Chrissy Key Rollins here bringing you an energy update. Now, I don't even have to say that this has been some challenging times. At the time of this live broadcast, we have been under quarantine for the majority of the country, and various different states have various different restrictions on how much we can move about, how much interaction we can have with one another. And there is everywhere you look this underlying sense of uncertainty and unknowing, and wondering what's going to happen next, and is it safe to engage with people, to interact in different locations. And it's very important, I felt, to come on and share some insights energetically so that you can become more aware as to what it is that you're experiencing and how you can better ground your energy, your mindset, your focus, stay as certain as possible during these uncertain times. And this was what was on the top of my heart to share. So if we look at the timeline, if we're talking about just the dates of where we are, like lift off everything else that's happening in society, and we just look at the dates itself, there's a couple of exciting things that are on the horizon. First of all, at the time of this recording, it's March 20th. So we are right on the edge of the spring equinox. And this is the time where we shift from winter into spring, how we talk about it in human terms. And what that means on the energetic side is that this is the time where, well, again, let's talk physically. The light that we experience during the day is going to start to be more than the darkness. So at this point, at the spring equinox, hey, whoever just joined live, chime in, let me know that you're here. At the point of the spring equinox, it's that dividing line. Once we pass the equinox, then the days become longer and the nights become shorter. So we are getting ready to shift into greater amounts of light than darkness. And I'm pretty sure all of us are really welcome to that idea. Just even if it gives us more daylight hours, even if it just gives us more sunshine during the day, that's something that a lot of us get excited for. So energetically speaking, as this starts to tip, as we go from the darkness into the light, it is the perfect time to begin cultivating and growing the seeds that you planted in the winter, in the darkness of what it is that you would like to have to come to fruition in the spring. So what you're going to start to notice is an upswing in energy. It's going to coincide also with the new moon that is coming up on the 24th, March 24th. So new moon energy is the energy of creation, of birthing forth something new, the energy that it takes to create something new. So you're going to start to notice after this weekend passes, a gentle upswing in energy. Daylight's going to be longer, more light than darkness, and you're also going to feel that upswing in your own personal energy. Now, those of you who have been more connected with me and have been staying in a more in-depth conversation over this past week in particular, you've already heard me say that what we're experiencing right now, while it is, uncertain, while there's a lot of fears and concerns and everybody's kind of finding a new normal and finding their footing, I want to say to you that what I am sensing is that what we're experiencing right now is actually the calm before the storm. And I say that not to be foreboding or to warn or concern you. I'm telling you this so that you can be prepared within yourself energetically. If you feel like everything has been ramping up, just know it's going to go a little bit further before it finally starts to topple over, before it starts to subside, and we can start to breathe more easily, naturally on our own, relax more into finding our footing of whatever lies on the other side of it. So while we're in this state of uncertainty, it is more important than ever that you do whatever you can to keep yourself happy, joyous, keeping focused on where it is that we're heading to on the other side, instead of just the limiting factors and the amount of uncertainty that is swarming around us right now. So what I invite you to do is that when you find yourself overwhelmed with the thinking, the concerns, the uncertainty, and let me tell you, this is going to be a challenge if you hadn't already noticed. I'm a fan of Instagram. If I spend any time flipping through social media, it's going to be on Instagram. And what I've noticed on Instagram is that every fourth post is a sponsored ad. And between those sponsored ads are probably every 1 to 2 to 3 posts, which is pretty much almost every single post that I've seen. It is talking about the current state of our society. It is talking about the coronavirus. It is talking about the concerns. So if every single post, if 80 to 90% of your visual interactions are coming into prepare yourself, be concerned, watch out for, look out for, uncertainty, don't know what's next, it is all the much more important that you anchor yourself into your joy, into your happiness, into your peace of mind, into the things that bring you the most life, that help you to breathe easier. It is vital. And it's not vital in the sense of if you don't do this, then you're going to be like in a worse place. It's vital in the sense of when you're not doing this, you are the one who's affected by it. So since all of life is, or the majority of life is throwing at us concerns, uncertainties, watch out, stay posted, stay on high alert, it is vital that you take on an advocacy for yourself, for your emotional state, for your internal well-being, for your peace of mind, for your calmness. And you do this by bringing up happiness, joy, the things that make you feel expansive, possible. So what I like to do is I like to take the worry and then I flip it upside down and turn it into the joy. So if I have a thought that crossed my mind, like, oh gosh, I haven't talked to my parents today, I wonder how they're doing, I hope they're doing okay, and then my mind goes down this rabbit hole of all the ways that they could not be okay, then I will notice that my mind's running in that direction. I will stop that thought right in the moment, and I will anchor in all the wonderful things that I can think of. I start to send them light and wellness. I start to picture them as happy and moving around and everything being fine. And in that state, I am not necessarily controlling, influencing, changing. I don't know. I'm not claiming any of that. But what I am telling you is that in that moment, I instantly change the thought process, the patterning, the wavelength, the energy that is happening inside of me. I physically feel the difference, and it changes my experience in the moment. And I believe that a big reason why this upheaval is happening right now is to give us an opportunity to reassess our priorities, to take a blinders off look at how we're showing up in life, and to become even more keenly aware of what is happening inside of ourselves. Because if you hadn't noticed yet, you can't control what's happening around you. The one place that you do have control is what is happening within you. And while you might not be able to control what instantly comes up, you do have the ability to actively engage and participate with your internal self in a way that is more beneficial to you. So be joyous, be happy, focus on the things. You have to bring in your own sunshine at times like this. So connect to avenues where they're bringing more light and more sunshine. I plan on going live daily for the next week or so that you can always have a source to plug back into. Find those great avenues, bring your own sunshine, make your day better, and make somebody else's day better too. So it has that trickle effect. It's really, really powerful. All right, let's see what the mermaids have to say to add to this conversation. I'm going to wrap it up here. Drop your comments below for sure. Let me know, have you been feeling this? Have you been sensing this? How have you been handling Pisces season? If you're not familiar with Pisces season, go check out my last energy update where you can find out more about the energy of Pisces and how that's affecting us, causing us to feel victim of our circumstances, wanting us to escape out of this, really feeling this need to defend our loved ones. All of that's very Piscean energy. So let me know how you're doing with Pisces season. Let me know how you're doing with the spring equinox. And if you do anything in particular to celebrate the equinox, some people do for certain. And if there's anything in particular that you are ready to bring into light in this upswing of the light energy, and I'm just going to send out my love to everybody to just fortify within yourself. Hunker down within yourself. You are strong, you're capable, you are resilient, you are guided, you are supported. You've got this. And anything that is unlike you is going to feel awkward and uncomfortable during this time, and it's going to make its way to the surface only so that you can free it, so you can let it go. You don't have to hold on to it. Okay, if you got any questions, reach out for sure. I'm going to be posting some specials. I've opened a no one turned away policy during this time, so no excuses if you need some further support. And here is what the mermaids have to say to add to our conversation. Oh, what a gorgeous card. Holy Toledos. I did not know that this one was coming, but we will take it. It is card number 13, and it is the return of Aphrodite. The return of Aphrodite. And the message on this card itself says, temple, birth of the goddess, guidance, goddess energy, treating as sacred. So whenever we talk about goddess energy, we're just talking about those feminine, unseen aspects, the non-physical aspects of life. So this card, you can see it, touch it, feel it. It's three-dimensional, right? You can see it here. Masculine. Thinking about this card in your mind, you see that little vision there in your mind? Feminine. So the energy that creates is feminine. And what Aphrodite is all about is certainty, confidence, knowingness. Aphrodite was one of the most certain out of all the goddesses, which is what made her so beautiful, so attractive, so alluring. And she was so certain, so confident that she did not worry about the worries that the other people worried about. In fact, she made choices that were bold and that people questioned. And they were like, what is wrong with her? Because people don't typically do that. But you do that whenever you're confident and whenever you're certain and whenever you know you have nothing to lose, because you know that all of life is backing you. And that's what this card is speaking of. And for this card to come through during this conversation, I can't help but take it as a major sign that this energy is backing us. It is the creative force causing all of this masculine physical destruction and devastation that we're seeing around us. But just because it appears to be one way, don't forget the energy that's backing it behind it. So I take this to be a really beautiful sign, birth of the goddess, letting that energy, that feminine energy, and when I say feminine, I'm not talking about genders, I'm talking about unseen, that je ne sais quoi, that little essence that comes up inside of you that nudges you forward, that gives you hope, that gives you belief, that keeps you moving forward. That, when you bring that forward, you will find yourself being guided, you will find yourself in a sacred space, and you will find yourself like this mighty, powerful Aphrodite herself. All right, I'm going to post some further insights on this card in the comments below, so those of you that are interested in finding out more. It's one of my favorite cards, so I'm going to drop it in the comments. I'll also post a link over to the Conscious Success community, which I'm inviting all business owners, leaders to engage in. I plan on keeping some upbeat, positive, helpful information coming through that site, so you have a place to connect. And if anybody is looking for support, clarity, guidance, anything at this time, reach out to me. I will make myself available to you. All right, talk to you soon. Love you. Keep riding the waves.